In this episode of Mighty Car Mods, we are continuing to work on the Daihatsu Midget 2.
Welcome to another episode of Mighty Car Mods. This amazing vehicle is a Daihatsu Midget 2 that has two men in the back of it currently.
We are exceeding its cargo weight capacity.
By about 10 kilos.
Yeah, this is 150 kilos in the back, 1.2 by 1.1 metre. Last episode, we went down to Super Cheap, got lots of different parts to get the car going again. Some of it was a lot worse than we thought.
Yeah.
Some of it was a little bit better, but we kind of got halfway through and then we decided we needed to change the belts because they were thrashed. Good news. It took a couple of days, but we have got them in, so they can go on. All the fluids were done.
Yeah, the coolant was the biggest problem. It was just really crusty, just been sitting for a long time, hadn't been changed for a long time, and the hoses were starting to give up. That's one you don't want to get stuck with because it just means you lose all your coolant and you have a bad time.
So today's a kind of a big one because there are a bunch of things that we need to change on the car. We also need to get the belts on. We need to actually make sure that it starts and runs and moves. We need to clean it up a bit, decide which bits we're going to paint or not paint or leave chrome. We want to give it a bit of a detail, get it looking mad. Wheels and tyres need some attention. So yeah, there's lots of stuff to do. First thing we're going to do though is that the tyres on the car look like they've been on there for years and years and years. They're all cracked and like super dangerous. So we got to get some new tyres in. Other than that, man,
make it work.
Put it all back together.
We're going to drive it today.
And then drive it. And also, of course, then go through and hopefully have a more streamlined time than with our 180SX actually getting it registered. So today we should be able to be in a position where we can go and get the blue slip, which is where we get all the import documentation and all of that stuff underway, and then get it registered, get some plates, and off we go.
Let's do it.
Martin, did you also say that someone's coming to check the radiation in it?
Yes.
Tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Got someone coming with a very, very expensive machine that can check how much radiation's in this thing.
We saw that it said the radiation had been measured. We don't know if that means that it's radioactive.
Well, we don't know if that means there's a measurable amount.
Or if they measured it and it was zero. We don't have the result of the measurement, so we kind of want to find out before we spend a whole lot of time in it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been allowed to go anywhere.
It wouldn't come into Australia if it was actually problematic, but we do want to know.
Would like to know.
Before we spend, and by there's only one seat, so
we
one at a time.
Drive it off a cliff into a uranium storage tank.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get the wheels off.
It looks like these tyres have been on here for years. The sidewalls are full of cracks, and this is not going to be good at high speed on the track when I'm dominating Martys Kei Truck, so these tyres have to go in the bin. Finding something this small and weird is going to be a challenge, but while we're investigating that, we can get our belts back on, which gets us one step closer to getting this thing started. One of the replacement belts that we got is perfect, but the other one is a bit too long, so we're going to have to reuse the one that came on the car and just replace the good one that we've got. We will try and change this belt later on, but maybe it's something we need to order in from Japan, and that is not something we're going to wait for today before we turn the key.
So I've noticed in the little tray here that there are all of these cable ties all the way around. Look at this, over here, even on this side, they're all the way around. What was going on there? I'm super curious about it. They're really big, so whatever was in them, I gather, was large. I don't think they were here for wiring. What was going on the whole way around? All the way along this bar, and that bar. If you got any ideas, I would love to know, because I can't work out why you would need to cable tie something so big on the back, unless it was a signage, a little box, advertising, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm using a pry bar to hold tension on the alternator so we can get the belts finished. And then it's time to get the oil service cover back on and gently reinstall the seat. Someone commented on our last video saying that the headrest is meant to have a seat strap to hold the seat up during service. Ours is missing, which is why we had so much trouble with it and had to use welding wire to hold it up.
So these mad little body panel bits, the problem is they have some damage. So you can see there's meant to be 3 clips along the top, which go there, there, and there. This one's broken off completely, that one's half broken off, and then that bolt there is meant to go through this piece that doesn't exist anymore. So how it's going to look, which is actually awesome when it's on, is that goes up and that goes in. But any way of actually mounting it currently is broken.
I reckon we'll be able to make it work at the bottom with
some cable ties?
Yeah, it's probably going to have to be, but it'll work. Get this off.
So I'll move that out of the way.
Just not a whole lot of nothing, that bolt.
And then maybe we just put a hole through here,
Yeah,
and
drill
then
through
cable tie that and that, and
Definitely.
that'll keep it in.
Yeah, it's not gonna come off.
In the true spirit of this little truck's homeland, it's getting some holes and cable ties. If it works, it works. And in this case, it works. You can get these Mighty Car Mods cable ties from our online shop.
On the panel on the other side, you can actually see what these are meant to look like. They're meant to have a little kind of hooking mechanism like that. So this one won't need the chain of cable ties that I've got on that one to hold it on, but it is still broken on the front there. So basically there's another whole cable tie through there.
Does anyone else ever get this experience when you're fixing something? It could be anything. And you get this really profound feeling that you're achieving something meaningful. Well, it's bloody amazing, and I'm having that experience right now. I know they're only small jobs that we're doing, but they're all building towards the goal of making the whole thing better, which I reckon is a pretty good analogy for life, really. You put in all the work, and then you turn the key for the first time, and it gloriously bursts into life.
Doesn't start. It works. It has no fuel in it.
Yeah, okay. All right. So we'll sort that out. And while we're waiting for our wheels and tyres...
What's that?
What's what?
Oh, ETC. Is that one of the, like a tollway thing or something?
A highway card.
Is that what that is?
If you power it on and press the door thing in, it should talk to us.
Really? Please insert card, I reckon.
Is that coming out of the speaker?
There's a little
Or is that
speaker on
coming
top
out
of
of
this
that?
thing. There's a little speaker on top of
Yeah,
it.
okay. Anyway, now it's time to give the midget a bit of cleanup. There's a couple of little things that I want to paint black. Generally, because it's been used as an industrial vehicle, it's probably not something that people have looked after, you know, as well as you would a normal car. That said, it does have this mad body kit on the front of it, which I think actually just looks really cool. And the cool like number plate thing here. Needs a number plate. Got any ideas? Anyway, we found obviously that the highest point of the cooling system was up here, so we put some coolant in there so we could bleed that properly. Now, Martin, it's time to give it a proper clean, a proper polish, paint some stuff, get it looking mad, then our wheels and tyres can go on, and then we are ready to try and get some rego.
So there's
Dear Service New South Wales, be kind.
There's a couple of different ways that we can polish this. A lot of pros use a rotary buffer, which is just like an angle grinder, just spins around and around and around. You can also use a orbital buffer like this RYOBI one that they make, which is cool because it's cordless, which is
I've never used one of them before.
handy. And this one comes with a bunch of different pads. We're going to use this yellow one, which is like a cut, because we're going to have to cut the paint quite significantly. These are a little bit more gentle than a rotary one. You can also just do it by hand. If you're feeling energetic and you don't have the tools, you can also do it by hand. We're going to use a basic cutting compound and just chop all the sort of crap off the top of it, basically. It looks a bit dusty, but the paint's actually pretty smooth. It doesn't have much stuff stuck to it, which will be the first thing you do. If you're buffing, make sure there's nothing stuck to the paint first. And then, yeah, I know.
I'm just laughing because the stuff we're cutting off is probably the radiation.
Oh, yeah, could be. But anyway, so we're going to, throw some compound on. We've got two of these. We're going to have at it half the car each and see how it looks after.
Cool. We're also going to polish up the metal and anything that looks broken or faded. I'm going to paint. Let's cue some chill tunes, people. I just want you to sit back, relax. In fact, let's change to slow-mo, cue the tunes, and let's kick into rubbing down the Daihatsu Midget. So we spent about 2 hours giving the little midget a micro detail. I say micro detail because if you saw the video on my Golf, it's like sitting somewhere for 3 or 4 days getting like the most intense treatment. If you are a detailer and you're watching our video, apologies. I'm sure there was something that we didn't do right, but well, actually, you know what we did do right? The car looks freaking amazing. So it's come up really, really nicely. We did notice on the inside of the door here that the car used to be this kind of, that was like the classic weird kind of midget green that they used to be.
Isn't that the green that's in
black.
like Gran Turismo? What game is it where you started in a midget? There's some like classic game, isn't there?
It's Gran Turismo, and also Best Motoring did a series of people kind of racing midgets and stuff. So it became really kind of a popular kind of iconic thing. But it looks really, really good. The inside's had a bit of a clean. The wheels and tyres are back. Managed to get these little mini trailer truck tyres, which are from Japan, which is really cool. So they're going on, and then we can take it down off the jack stands, and then Marty, it's time to try and get rego.
Fuel and rego.
See how that goes.
One of the biggest challenges in bringing in cars like this from Japan is the process of getting them made legal over here, where the regulations relating to safety and registration are different. So now, with a full tank of fresh fuel and the Midget ready to go, getting road legal is the next thing that we need to investigate.
The Daihatsu Midget 2 is looking awesome. It's sounding great. It starts and runs, which is excellent. What Marty and I have no idea of is how to actually get the thing registered. So this car was brought in by Import Monster, who have been helping us with stuff for years, and they're the company we go and see in Japan and when we're buying different parts and stuff. So I'm actually going to call them because I don't know what to do. And this falls outside the normal category of how we're bringing in cars and complying them. So I'm going to call them, and hopefully they can tell us what we have to do. This car falls into a bit of a different category to the normal cars that we've imported, where we kind of bring them in, do the SEVs, do the compliance, do all of that stuff. Do you know how I actually go about starting to get this registered now? What do I do?
Yeah, well, being a 25-year-old car, it comes under a different process. And, of course, that's not a standardised national thing because it is different from state to state.
Oh, God.
Here in Victoria, it's pretty easy. We take it to a VAS-certified engineer. They go over it and say, tick, 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 cross, you need to do this, you need to do this. We attend to that, bring it back, bang, they issue the plate. So, I will have people that you can talk to who'll be able to help you out with that.
Yeah.
What I can do is give you a buzz back in a little bit with a name and a number.
Okay.
And you can have a chat to them and get it organised.
Okay, awesome. So even though it doesn't go through the traditional SEVs compliance, it still ends up with a compliance plate though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it still needs to be assessed and essentially tagged.
Okay.
As I said, it is different from state to state. So I can chase that up for you very, very quickly.
No worries, mate.
And then exciting times getting that one on the road, mate.
Oh, no, it's going to be great. Here's the other random question I had. When we got it, there was a bit of paper inside that said radiation tested or something, or tested for radiation. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, so, after, the events of 2011 with the Fukushima Daiichi power plant and all of the fallout, all cars that get exported actually get tested. Oh,
every car, regardless of where it's from?
Yeah, that's right. So it's a very quick thing. They just don't usually put paperwork on it.
Yeah, okay, because I wasn't sure if by it saying radiation tested, it was saying to me, this car has tested positive for radiation, or if they're saying, we have tested this car for radiation.
No, it will be saying that they've tested it for radiation, because if it failed, it would never have been able to leave. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. They'll test cars that are from, way south in Japan, which is nowhere near the power plant. But, it's just a response to, obviously, what happened over there.
Yeah.
When the tsunami ripped through, it's pretty ugly.
Mate, all of that makes heaps of sense. Thank you so much. I'll send you some photos now of what it looks like, by the way, because it's great. Thank you for all your help getting it in here. And, if you can just let me know who I speak to engineering-wise up here, and then we'll go from there. But, yeah, thanks for your time, man. Awesome.
Anytime, man.
Cool.
Talk to you soon.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so a couple of good things about that. Number one, there is a process of actually getting it done, which is good, because I wasn't sure if we were just going to work it out ourselves, but it's different per state in Australia. So Victoria's different to Queensland, different to New South Wales. So we'll do some research, find out what we need here, where we are in New South Wales. And the other good sign is that it's what I wanted to hear, and I'm glad I heard. All cars are tested for radiation. So the bit of paper saying radiation tested means that the test has been run, not that it has tested for radiation. So that's a good thing. Cool, so we wait for a call. In the meantime, Martin, let's drop it down and let's just see what it looks like. I'm excited.
It's been a fun couple of days getting the Midget all fixed up, and now I'm ready to go head-to-head with Martys Kei Tipper. And if he's not scared yet, he really should be, because he's about to get chopped hard.
Marty's truck is going to get destroyed. I'm telling you now, man. You can do the maths. You can look at the weight of this. Yes, it's only 660 non-turbo. It's 500 kilos. Look at my steering wheel, man. Look at the performance. I'm in the middle. Okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Martin.
The car's tiny.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking.
Are you talking about
That's just interrupting.
I'm
just having a conversation. You get interrupted. It's
you think you're talking about like, oh, I'm going to thrash Marty's truck, aren't you? Which you're tripping. Do you know how much time we put in a turbo in that thing?
Dude, I love your truck.
You were there.
This has got nothing to do about whether I like you or whether I like you or whether I don't like you or whether I don't like your truck.
Big power.
I'm just saying.
Turbos.
People.
Do you have a turbo?
No. We know. We've had this conversation. I know. This is harking back to the battles of the 90s when you had the 180SXs and your Rexys and your Evos versus people with SS Utes and XR8s. It was always the conversation about naturally aspirated versus turbo, but I've got so many advantages. I imagine, like me, you are just wiggling in excitement at the prospect of this Kei Truck battle. I am. Are you looking forward to it, Martin? Are you looking forward to this battle?
I'm just going to. Well, yeah.
Are you? And Martin, let me ask you an honest question without being a dickhead.
I'm not looking forward to your face when I race you for slips and then we have to get rid of this.
No, don't say silly things, Martin. I just
Do you
want
have a diff lock?
Martin.
Do you have full drive?
Martin.
Do you have boost? Do you have a tipper?
Let's just be. We've already had this conversation. We already spoke about that last episode. In a battle,
I do like this car.
On the track or in a kind of a skid pan motor kind of situation, which car do you honestly think will win?
Truck.
Why?
Power.
Oh, you reckon it's just power?
Yep.
You reckon that's what you need?
Dude, it's always power. You know this. You don't pretend like.
What do you mean it's always power, Mr. Mirror?
It's all about power.
Mr. Super Turbo.
They got power.
Oh, dude, for their weight.
Yeah, exactly.
For their weight, it's power to weight.
And this doesn't have power and it's got no weight.
Anyway,
So
I don't want to
be
waste
slow.
the internet by talking about it too much. What I do want to do, actually, Martin, can you check that the lights work out there? So if I go, because I want to find out what these switches do. So, have I got headlights?
Yep.
Have I got indicators?
Yep.
Here's the one that you'll be seeing a bit. Have I got the chop lights?
Sure.
Yeah, great. Horn?
Yep.
That's a good horn. That's an aftermarket horn. Martin, what does this switch do down here? What does this one do? Oh, wait on.
Yep. Front foggies. What about back foggies? Is she talking to you again?
Yep.
Back foggies?
Back ones up here. What if I flick this switch?
Yep. Back foggies.
That one. Now, the last thing to try
All
then
works, dude.
is I don't know if the stereo works.
Is it like a mini display or something?
Stereo's on. Imagine if there was a CD in it. Oh man, that would be so exciting. So it's just occurred to me that because this car has a shift light and this little mini monster tacho here, it may still have the previous owner's setting in there of what they've got their red line set at. So if I hit the peak button, it should show me 8,500 RPM, people. Take that, Kei Truck. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. All right. I'm going for a quick drive around the car park. Yes.
Gears work?
Yep.
Awesome. Found you an old CD.
See what the
Hopefully
stereo
it works.
sounds like. CDs are so old school, man. They're like literally 70s.
You're gonna get so chopped. You're gonna get so chopped. You're gonna get so chopped in your little truck, and my truck is fast and your truck is not. Boom, 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 boom.
Is that a good song?
Well played, Martin.
I found your CD.
Well played, mate. Good job.
Watch this.
Boom, 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 boom. You're gonna get so chopped.
You're gonna get
So chopped. I know it's actually
You're
very.
gonna get
yeah.
so chopped. You're
Yeah.
gonna get.
It used to be
so
my job to make
chopped.
the music for this show. Seems that there's a new player in town.
I mean, look, the quality's pretty up there, isn't it, mate? I think you should leave that CD in your car so that after I chop you can play it on repeat on the way home. Dude, forget pink slips. If I win, you have to leave that on repeat every time you drive this car.
I absolutely love this little Daihatsu Midget 2. I reckon it's freaking awesome. We've fixed a bunch of stuff. We've replaced a bunch of
So
things.
shiny.
We've cleaned it all up. We've polished up the metal. And now it actually drives, it works. I've gone around the car park, it changes gears, it goes into reverse. All the different bits and pieces work, electronics work. Marty's made me a very special song. Very, very exciting. There's nothing else we can do now until we begin the process of how we actually go through its registration process, which we have never done with a car like this in this kind of system. So now we've actually just got to wait to get a call, do some research, find out what has to be done. But I absolutely love it. We've painted up some stuff. It just looks great.
Engineering, compliance, blue slip, registration, compulsory third party, all that stuff, just paperwork that's got to happen. But we will make it happen. We'll put some calls out there and it's going to happen hopefully very soon.
So yeah, thank you very much for watching so far. There is going to be an imminent battle coming up with the Kei Trucks. It's going to be Martys Kei Tipper versus the Midget. It's going to be excellent. Now, thank you very much. We will be seeing more of the Midget soon. If we can manage to get it registered and find out all of that stuff, you'll be seeing it next episode. Otherwise, you'll be seeing it in a little while, depending on what happens. But if you do want to support the show, and we appreciate everybody that's bought something, whether it's been a sticker, a shirt, or a hoodie, you can do that from mightycarmods.com. We really appreciate that. And we will look forward to seeing you next time on Mighty Car Mods for more automotive shenanigans.
There's so much automotive shenanigans coming, man.
There is so much stuff coming as well. And just when you
pumped.
think it's just going to be all about little cars and trucks, it's something
So
big and fast.
That thing that out there is just...
It's just...
Anyway, we'll talk about that next time.
It's going to be great. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Have you been watching for almost 15 years? Are you one of the old schoolers, the OGs? Thank you very much. Are you new? Welcome. See you next time
I'm going to get
on Mighty Car Mods.
a Neenish tart. Oh. Yeah, you know the one that's like two colours?
I actually want one.